Let's get this working properly this time. Hi guys, Luca from Sabre Airsoft here in the workshop with another live stream. We'll see how it goes. Got AEG today. This is the SSR4, I want to say. Yeah, SSR4, Norwich. Customer reports, getting super hot on the motor. I've already done a bit of testing on this, but we'll do some more testing just to be safe. See if we can get that motor going hot at all. See if I've got a battery that's actually charged. That's not where my batteries are. Wrong ammo's in. You are not going to be used. Are you? You're a 7.4, aren't you? Yeah. See if there's even any charge in this. Did go live a little bit early today. I did say 2:30 on my Discord, but I'm impatient and I was just wanting to get on with things while I still have brain power. What is the deal there? Okay, that's fun. So that Dean's connector is a little bit iffy. Sounds zippy. I'm going to adjust that motor height real quick. I mean, it's not, from what the customer was saying, it gets hot instantly, and that's not what I'd say is happening anymore. Certainly not right now, it doesn't seem to be, but we'll give it a quick strip and service just to be sure. It's actually an Allen key to adjust this one. So probably, let's try 2.5. I think it's an Allen key anyway. Yes it is. Try 3 mil. No, it doesn't seem to be a 3 mil. What are you? I don't know. Maybe 4? Oh, it is a 4. There we go, that's better. That sounds good. Enough. This is going to be a horror when we go in this. Oh god. Okay, that's not even getting slightly warm, so I think that issue is gone. Unsure what the cause was, but there is no heat whatsoever in that. So let's get this thing properly apart and then investigate, see if we can find anything else that might be going on in here. What do I need? I need 3? 2.5? 3? 2.5. Get the old parts tray. By the way, any questions that do come through, I will just periodically stop and look to see if there's any questions in the chat. I unfortunately can't keep an eye on it 24/7 because the only way I can look at it is through my phone, which is the one that's recording right now, or streaming, so bear with. You know, I've never actually had one of these Norwich ones. Certainly an interesting design so far. Don't let me forget that, because I always forget these things because they just fall out and they're just for show. Let's get the motor grip off. Motor off even. Oh yeah, you do the... Okay. 1, Yeah, it's going to look like a horror show in here. I can already tell you that now, because I have seen some of what's going on. Like that, look at that. That's a split wire. So it's going to need rewiring. Hey, English. You know this one. You know whose this is. Don't say who, because you know I don't say that who's is what in my videos. But you know whose this is. Motor, even after spamming the shots, fine. There's no heat to this. I think this is the newest motor, because he had a couple. This one was a brand new one. What do we got inside? We've got Allen keys, 2.5s, I think. Maybe 2s. Nope, 2.5s. I need to get those like zoomy in glasses that some people who work with electronics have that have lights on them. There we go. Right, let's get those out. And 1 and a 2. Like, if I put my finger in here, right, clean finger, right? Watch this. See what happens. Nope. Okay, so I thought I was expecting a load of carbon or something in there. It's not, which is good. Let's have a look at these wires. That's been crushed, but is otherwise intact. This one, so it's split there. Shielding's coming off that, so clearly suffered some abuse there. And here we have, yeah, another Allen key. I don't know if these come with Allen keys normally. Genuinely don't have a clue about that. It could be something that this customer has put in instead. Where the hell is that thing that I need? Not over there, is it? In here. One extension. I don't know what's happened to my other bit extender. If I had to guess, I'm going to go 5mm. Hey Jared, how's it going, man? My name's Luca, by the way, not Luke. So it is only the Italian version. No, it's going to be 4mm. Italian, Luke and Luca are the same name effectively, but different languages. Yes, 4mm. So I want to inspect this whole thing and see if there are any other breaks in the wiring so that I can repair that. And this is a bit of a rush job because this particular customer needs it for next weekend, so I'm going to rush through it a little bit. So that's more what I'd expect to see is flip sets. Hello. Do you want to pop off now? There we go. Bloody hell. Let's not lose the other side as I try and extract it. Whoop, there we go. Ah. Instead I lose that side. Ah. Why was that stuck on there? Not a clue. Got the fan running as well because it's hot. I don't like hot. Hey, body pins. That's what's left. Can I use that one? Yep. Comes right out. Oh, that came out easier than normal. Let's inspect the external wire. This seems okay. This connector here is a little bit iffy. See there? But it's not the end of the world. Probably fix that. It's supposed to be spring loaded, so it's just a matter of putting on battery in a very specific way. Micro switches, yeah, hate them. Okay, I think this is over shimmed. There's no movement at all, but we'll try. Let's take the. That's way too small. Let's not do that. Leave that there. Take the spring out, spring guide. Oh, the spring's in the correct orientation, so that's good. Though, what spring even is that? Was that supposed to be retained? No. Okay, it's just a random tension clip. Select is fine, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I feel there's a tiny bit of movement there, but I think that's bearing movement. This one, there's zero movement at all. That's shimmed really high up. Okay. Alright. Where I do have a short thing. Let's see if any of these in here are the right size. That's going to be small, isn't it? That's Torx. That's 4mm. Are you 2mm? Yeah, you are. Right. How much battery have I even got in this thing? Oh, it's running out. I hate when it's running out. Because I can't remember where the charger is. Those up there. Just grab real quick. Okay, well, okay, never mind. I was hoping to preserve the shimming. Don't know why, but what one's that come off? What are you? Let's guess. Let's have a look. Initial inspection. Right. So hopefully this comes across on the camera. You can see, trigger falling out. See there's a pattern on this gear here. That's, well, it looks of it's only the grease being moved about, but that usually indicates that it's too high. Like basically these two gears would be contacting. That's typically what it means. Just get my gear thingy out. Gear stand. You can get these on the store. This one's designed by Alice. They are very handy. Yeah, this is sector gear. Not sector gear. Double gear looks fine. Not sure what gears they are. I think they're just the ones that come with the Novrich, maybe. Let's get that out. Not sure what grease is used, but it's minimal, which is good. Apart from on this gear. Yeah, you can see it a bit little clearer there. Look. Maybe, there you go. Sort of see the same markings on that. It's like I can definitely see something's rubbed off somewhere, or maybe it's a bit of dirt, 'cause it's just the change in coloration of the grease, because it's supposed to be this white color, and then there's some discoloration in the rest of it, so I think it is contacting. See if that's not coming loose at all, is it? No. Okay. I'm just gonna get rid of that shim because I'm re-shimming it anyway. Look at that big old glob of it, look. And it's really sticky, this stuff. Right, it's quite thick. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's a white lithium grease of some kind. Just make sure there's no other shims floating around. Yeah, there is. And the gears look fine. I'm not sure what ratio they are, probably 16s. I don't want to count teeth, so. But these are quite high up bearings. Again, I don't know what's stock in this. So I don't know if these are normally what come with the Novorich SSR4. Let's check the compression. Nozzle down. Yep, it's good. Nozzle up. Wow. Really? Okay, that's better. Some leakage, but not a huge amount. Okay, that's good. Let's inspect that. Lovely star pattern for the impacts, look. How about that? I think that is, yeah. Otherwise fine, don't see any damage there. Let's get some to clean this up with. Degreaser. Where is my degreaser? I know where it is. Or at least I know where some is. Ah, it's. I went and got this new ball, right? And it's already on my workbench. I'm just blind. I just looked to my right. It was right there. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any soft nylon brushes anymore. I don't know what's happened to them. Unless they are in my toolbox behind me. Yeah, not back there. I need to get a toothbrush or something, really. Only over there. Maybe my wife has some. If there isn't, that'd be too easy. I'd have to use this one. Not ideal, but. I mean, I don't see any signs of PME or anything like that, so that's good. We'll leave that as is. Don't want to use that really. Let's get this out and have a look at the cylinder. Fair play, that's in there. Jesus. It shouldn't be in there that much. Oh, bloody hell. That's interesting. Never been able to have that much trouble pulling a cylinder head off. Fair play. Well, that explains the star pattern as well. It's an interesting design. Cylinder looks good. No issues there. Nozzle is O-ring type, so generally good seal. Let's get the rest of this out and properly degrease. Don't like straight triggers at all. Why am I like this? Oh, there we go. See that this has got like an O-ring under this that is not fully under it, so that's a pointless O-ring. Let's get this ETU out and inspect all the wires again. Okay, so it seems it's just this wire, which is an issue, and it's only this end bit, so I can actually probably, considering the gauge of the wire, just graft on an extension of the same length and whatnot, and then probably do the same this one. Can't see any other issue in the wiring at all. No, none of the other insulation is broken, so that's good. Well, that's one side. Clean out all this old grease. Now this is a zero budget build, and by zero budget I mean there is no money. I am making a loss just by doing this. Even if I were to put 0 new parts in here, I'm making a loss just based on time alone. But I'm doing this as a favour. That's not seated in there properly, why? Let's get a tool for that. There is the thing gone. Not like that. Where are you hiding? I have in here a thing for pulling bearings out. Thing for pulling bearings out, that's what I was trying to say. But I was supposed to have it in here, and then it's not in here. So where has it gone? Luca loses another thing in his chaos. More at 10. Okay, it's not immediately obvious where it is in here. So I'm going to probably stop looking in a second. Alright, yeah. Pliers. They should be in here. I'm going to need those. Let's get those out. Don't need those. More bearings. Got a pinion puller, but I don't need a pinion puller. Book or a course? No. No. No, there is not. You learn by breaking stuff. That is how you learn. And if you're not comfortable breaking stuff, don't try and fix it. Because you will break stuff. It's gonna happen. I don't know what's happened to that. There we go. Now it's in. So, proper application of thumb has resolved that issue. Make sure all these are actually in. There we go. Right, let's get these degreased as well. So this particular customer actually replaced their ETU with another one from Novarich, thinking it was the ETU causing the problem, but the problem didn't go away, so they tried the motor, it shimmed and re-shimmed, but it kept coming back. Then I am actually of the opinion it was just wires getting caught when they were putting the motor in. And therefore it was putting undue pressure on the motor, and that's why it was overheating. That was the only thing I could think of. So when I installed the motor, I did it possibly slightly differently to the way he does it. And seemingly it's no longer overheating. That happens. As I've said to them, like, you can't... Everyone will put things together in an ever so slightly different way. Then they realise they think they're doing it the exact way you're supposed to, but then they just don't notice a thing. But that's where people like me come in, where we do notice the thing. Is this like proper hard and grease or something? I really need to get myself like a parts cleaner. Ultrasonic one or something. Gearbox standard key. Yeah, I'd say that's one that Alice designed. Where have I put my hammer? I mean, to be fair, I'm always losing my hammer as well. And yeah, today, as far as I'm aware, I'm the only person who's done any actual content on the VMP2 of any significance like that, where I've done the deep dive. Most other people haven't bothered, even though actually the VMP2 is one of the most popular ones out there at the minute. Seemingly, whenever I go to any field, there will be at least one VMP2 somewhere. It's largely because they're so cheap. Really don't like this grease in here. I'm not going to be doing any short stroking or anything fancy like that. I say fancy, or anything like that, because that would take far too long and it's completely out of this guy's budget and it's not needed. Just not needed. That's going to do. Right, let's start shivving. So, first thing on what I always do is bevel gear. Wrong, spare gear. What are you hitting on there? You're hitting on the other. Yeah, you are. Okay. Looking at I can knock off. No. Okay. Let's start with a 0.2. 0.2. 0.2. There we go. Awesome. Need. Jesus. 0.2. Some start with 0.1, I'm starting with 0.2 because it was quite heavily hitting, so. Still sounds like it's hitting something there. Okay. Let's try 0.3 then. See if that gets it clear. Get on there, you slag. Alright, that's... Okay, it's definitely clear now. Let's see how it looks when it's together. Can you... Yeah, thank you. Okay, it spins freely in there. How much room do we have? We've got a little bit of room, but not huge amounts. I've certainly seen worse. I'd say it's probably even just 0.3. Try 0.3. Oh, don't be like that. So, just looking at the movement now, and I would say that's too much. I'm actually going to drop that down to 0.2. Smaller and shorter won't break, no, but to be honest, just making it out of steel won't break the charging handle. The problem is that they're made out of a zinc alloy, which is not particularly great. But 304 stainless is perfectly adequate for it. Perfectly adequate. Even though I'd say it's probably still overkill, but mild steel would do it. 0.2. So there's a, don't know how well I'll be able to see this, there's a tiny bit of movement now. Hopefully you can see that. So you can get a close look. Looking at the spur gear there. It's a tiny bit of movement. And now if I put 3 screws in, let's go 1, 2, 3. That should be even enough pressure. Let's see how much movement there is in it now. So there's now basically no movement. So if I'd gone with a 3, that would have been far too tight. That might be okay, but it might still be too tight as it is. See how freely it's moving. Fairly free, yeah. With bearings, I might expect that to spin for longer, but there's not really any movement up and down, so I would consider that to be shimmed. There's a little bit. Not a huge amount. And I don't have any sort of interim 0.15, so I'll have to work. Cool. That's for first gear done. Now the order in which you do these gears, honestly, is up to you. There. Thank you. Right. So that's one gear. Let's do the next. Now this probably will need at least a 0.3 to come up. Oh, interesting. Okay. There's a little bit of backlash in the gearing. It's pretty normal. I would say can come up probably 0.2. But that might also be because this isn't in right or something. No, it looks fine. Let's go with 0.2. Black on black just doesn't work when you put the tool down. See what the gap's like now. Let's try it with 0.3. Not happy with that. What was that, 0.3 or was that 0.2? Should have been a 0.2, right? Yeah. 0.3 is a little bit thicker. Yeah, lots of clearance now. See how we're looking with the top. Yep. Ah, of course I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Oh, loads of play on that, Jesus. So we've got oh, it's almost like a 0.5. See if any of these thick ones here will work for it. That looks like a 0.3. Let's just use the known quantities, Luca. Don't be dumbass. 2.6 total. You're not 0.3. Improve the seal on the, sorry, it's that mate. On the nozzle for the VMP 1 and 2, would it improve gas efficiency? VMP 1, that's System 7. No, there isn't really. It's System 7. Alice has developed the spike barrel, which takes AEG hot rubbers, which does have a slightly better seal, but for the VMP 2, pretty sure the Quantum gives it a good seal, but the one that it comes with, honestly, is the best hot rubber for it. And even then, that wouldn't actually impact efficiency. So, efficiency in a gas blowback replica isn't determined by how much gas is going down the barrel. It's determined by how much gas builds in the... let me just grab a nozzle. So, a VMP2. Your rocket valve is in there. That valve is really important. You can replace that with an NPAS, a negative pressure air system, but that's basically what happens is the gas comes up here, goes down the barrel. As it does so, it also fills at the back here. Now, bear in mind that there's a piston head here, like, wow, it's all the way up to here. So that builds pressure back here, which closes that valve. Okay? Then the whole bolt carrier goes back. Now, until the point that the knocker arm, so the thing that's pressing the valve on the mag, until the point that that is retracted, it's going to continue to expel gas. So the only way you can possibly improve efficiency is reducing the amount of force needed to push the bolt carrier back, or reducing the time, or basically reducing the time between gas release and gas stop release. That's the only way. Changing a hot rubber won't impact that in the slightest. Right, anyway, back to the thing that I'm working on. What was I doing? Right, but yes, I put 6 on there. Cool. Oh, I can already tell I'm not going to enjoy putting this thing back together finally at the end, am I? Already tell. Okay, still a fair whack of movement there with 0.6 on it. Sounds decent though. Sounds like someone's still being hit. Ah, there he is. Where? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to push it up from the bottom with this one here. That's another 0.3 from the bottom, so it should be 6 on either side. Plenty of clearance, looks like. Okay, still a little bit of movement. We'll see what it's like after it's screwed down. Yeah. Yeah, still at least 0.2 mil movement there, but yeah, it definitely seems to be smoother between the 2 gears. Cool. So I'll put another 0.2 on it. That's the wrong one, Luca. Don't put it on there. Dumbass. Good tiny bit of movement there now. English, if you're still watching, do me a favour, put out the announcement that I'm live on my Discord because the bot's not there anymore. So I don't really need to worry about it then. No, not particularly. Wasted gas. Are people really that? I mean, okay. So this isn't me being exacerbated by you. English, put an announcement on my Discord about the live stream. Anyway, thanks, babes. Yeah, once that rocket valve is closed, there's no more gas going down the barrel, and by the time it's closed, like, it staying in there isn't gonna change anything. Like, you're just expanding the chamber, which reduces overpressure, which means that no, that's whoever said that doesn't understand how gas works or how gas playbacks work. They just straight up don't. Now, unless they're going with the idea of because the nozzle is no longer lined up with the gas router, it means that it's then just sending gas out into the chamber, out into the breach, right? I kind of get where you come from that, but it's negligible. It's not worth batting an eyelid over. Because it's still going to be expending the same amount of gas. It's there. Right, so that's not going side to side. That's good. I'm happy with that, just shimming there now. Tiniest bit of movement, but nothing to worry about. It's not binding, it's not putting too much pressure on anything. So I'm happy with that. Cool. Right, this is the one that a lot of people don't get right because it confuses them, because you've got to start with the other side first. And looks like that's good. It's not really impacting anything at all there. That's good. So what we do is we get the motor, anything that's not, well, anything that's still attached to the motor, we drop it in. Drop in this suitable what's it, which I believe wants to go that way. And we'll close it up. Then we go to here. What's that? So then one of those misinformation things, like with a lot of unnecessary upgrades that I see mentioned. Yeah, absolutely. You see it all the time, especially the unnecessary upgrades. Is that the point 2 that I put on top of that? Let's... No, it's not. Okay. You see it all the time with AAPs. Oh, you got to do this. You have to do that. You have to do that. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You can run it completely stock and still compete with others. Tokyo Marie, they always say, oh, there's plus-size plastic. So what? I've never had one break. They do break. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that common. Let's see how this is looking. Looks okay at that height, actually. Turn it around a little bit. Put it back in. Yeah, that one wouldn't be there anyway. Yeah, that looks fine. Looks fine on that side. How does it look on this side? It needs to come up at least a 0.2. At least. And I've done it again. Put down the pointy point. There it is, pointy points. 0.2 mil trim. Pop in there. Pop that on there. And we still have an insane amount of movement, but I don't want to shim it from the other side, so I'm going to go 0.3 as well for the 0.2. Like, one thing as well is like people, what's the build plan today? This is a repair. Honestly, this is pretty much a repair. 1 bar of 4G at work, so I may mess over, that's fine. Oh wait, are you down at the site, SJ? Fair enough. No, build plan for today, mate, is shim it and put it back together. So this is, you might remember on my Discord, there was a guy saying about his motor getting hot. That's this. And the shimming was 90% there. There's still some contact between the gears, but otherwise didn't really see any problems. I haven't checked the interface with the piston yet in this, but this shouldn't have too much of a binding issue with the piston because, I mean, it's straight out of the factory. It shouldn't have it. Darksword, thank you. Really appreciate that. I try to be as helpful as I can. Main job. Ah, main job. Fair enough. Oof. 1 gigabit. Workshop has 1 gigabit. How does your workshop have 1 gigabit? I know it's a site, isn't it? So this is my garage. I don't have that. I mean, although I am actually running off 5G because I've got a decent signal down here nowadays. So let's give this a try. There was, by the way, mate, a possibility that I was going to come down to your site, but this weekend. But then my sister's visiting yesterday, so no. Yeah. Right, so up and down. Ooh, don't know if I'm happy with that. No, I'm not happy with that. I'll take that 0.3 off. Place it with 0.2. Fair enough. 1 gigabit of post. It is standard, yeah, but not to an airsoft site typically. I've got gigabit fibre to the property as well, but I haven't run an Ethernet cable down to the workshop and the Wi-Fi because old stone house, it doesn't really get down here strong enough. Yeah. I mean, did they pay out to have it run? Because it costs an insane amount to run fibre out. Right, don't need that 0.3, let's pop that back in there. Go 0.2. And then that should be good. Ooh, don't you dare, don't you dare. Thank you. Stay on there. Right. How's that looking? Okay, tiniest bit of movement, that's what I want. I don't want lots. Don't want it to be too tight, but that is probably okay for what I need. Just hold that gear in. So this is a trick that a lot of people don't do with AEGs. If you've got all three gears in, hold the bevel gear so it's not moving, and then you can hear and feel how much backlash there is. Less backlash, the better. Less likelihood of zippiness. That's half of what makes zippiness sounds, is backlash between the motor and the bevel gear, and then through the entire gearing system. And there's actually... what's that? Oh, hold on. Catching up on chat here. OpenReach engineer was most confused when he showed up and we told him where it was registered to be installed. Wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Arm on a leg. Yeah, it would be even more expensive. No, I don't necessarily know that it is more expensive to go out of property. It depends on how long of a run they need to do, really. Would you say it's worth changing the barrel on the VMP1? To do that, you need to change out from a System 7 barrel to another System 7 barrel, so not really. How things going with the Vanguards? Still not had a chance to get one on open yet. Yeah, I've had zero issues with the Vanguard so far. I keep checking up on the guys I've sold them to. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a proper tank of a shell. But yeah, the Vanguard's not had anything new. There was that one failure from Daff on my Discord, but no others have failed as far as I'm aware. I can check in with Dan and ask him if he's had any RMA'd. But there's been no actual issues. There is potentially an issue with them, but it's only manifested once in front of me, and that was where it did a triple beep, seemed to stop working, but then started working all of a sudden. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but that's the only issue that I've had of them so far. Cool. Right, let's see. I'm happy with that shimming, so we'll leave that. Which, these are the shims that were originally on there, and if I had to guess, they are thicker in total than what I had. I don't know, they might be the factory shims, to be fair. So I don't know what's factory and what's not. Cool, let's get these out of here for now. So this is where this thing really comes in handy. Would it be fine to leave the VMP1 stock if I got one? Yeah, I mean, I have. Like, I've got it behind me, actually. This is actually one of the launch VMP1s. Although the upper receiver isn't, because that was one that Dan from New Prol sent me. With, of course, my logo on it, because that's what he does. He slaps my logo on everything, which is amusing to me. Anywho, this is completely stock. There is nothing in here that is aftermarket at all. So I treat it like a sidearm. I don't treat it like a main platform. You can, but even then, it's an SMG. I wouldn't expect an SMG to reach out and touch faith. I'd expect to have to get in close. But that's why I run this as a sidearm when I do run it. Right. Anyway, this is where this thing is really, really, really handy, because you can pull the shims off and put them on that little post. Put that in there. Grab the bottom shim, put them on that post, and now you know which shims go where. Handy. They go on the bottom. This is one that I've seen some people confuse. They'll pull out the bevel gear, and then they'll take the shims off, but they'll put them on the wrong sides, because they forget that, unlike the other gears, you shouldn't see the actual gear teeth when it's in the correct orientation. So it goes in that way, not that way. So hence, if they're on this side, that's the bottom. Bottom. I am an adult. I've got an extra shim here. Okay, that's definitely come from there. I just missed it. Cool. Pop that there. Let's check now how freely this moves in here, in case there was some binding issue there. Lot to learn from you about the VMPs. They are starting to show up more often now. Yeah, especially with the discounts that are on them at the minute, you will start to see them more and more and more because they're just so damn cheap. Launch VMP 1. Is there a difference between the launch ones and the later ones? Yes, there is. AEGs are more complicated to work on, but they're also not. But to tell if you've got a launch VMP 1 or one that was later, a revised version, is entirely based on this. It's the easiest way to tell. If it's got a grub screw on the top, it's the launch version. If the grub screw's on the bottom, it's one of the revised ones. Because the launch ones crack here quite a lot and quite often. This has got a crack in it. It's just not developed enough to be an issue for me. Especially as I've removed the original stock it came with and put on the QD plate. Not that I use that, but it's there. That's pretty much the only way to tell, as far as I know, whether or not it's a launch edition. I think the colour of the nozzle as well. I think they don't come with the blue nozzles anymore. I think they come with the green by default. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Right. Well, that's very free. That's plenty free, but we'll put the screws in anyway. Put 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll do those 3. Yeah, 0 binding, moves freely. So that definitely wasn't a cause for overheating. So now that we've, no, you bastard! Ah! Oh, what a world! That's a pain. I do know approximately what goes where, though. But don't have it in front of you when you're doing this, guys. Right, because I know that it was at least 6 on the top. This one. And I just knocked another one off, didn't I? Genius. This is why I don't normally record AEG work. Is it 6 on? It was 6 on top. Yeah, that was it. That goes to the bottom. That goes there. Now you were 3 on the bottom, and then the rest on the top, I believe. But you're over there, and you were 2 and a 2. 2. So I didn't put any 1s in this. So 2, 2, 3. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Watching stuff. Yeah, I could, but that's way too much effort. Let me just catch up on the chat a second here, guys. VB2, you wish the VB2 works with the KWA mags. They can. Alice did make different sized mag catches, which can enable that. Whack one teaser. I have had issues with the stock SSR Mark II grips being warped and throwing motor alignment off. Not one has ever been the same. Interesting. Don't think this one's warped, but I'll explain what I think they did wrong. Just so that the grub screw on the bottom and blue nozzle. Okay. We'll catch my sleep. Yeah. What was wrong about the nozzle color? Prepare for judgment. Oh no, YouTuber was wrong. You know, there are some people out there who genuinely will get actually up in arms about a YouTuber being wrong, and I don't get it. YouTubers are people, guys. Like, they're gonna get things wrong. They're never gonna be right all the time. If they were, then, well, they should be running the country. And let's be honest, we do not want, in particular, certain members of the YouTube creator community to be running the country, do we? Though I will say, if Luke ran the country, negative airsoft, guarantee it'd be pure anarchy, and he would be laughing and drinking at the same time. It'd be brilliant. It'd be hilarious. Which is why it's never going to happen, because he also hates politics. Right. Next steps. Grease. No. Wiring. Wiring. Let's put this to one side for a minute and then sort this out. I might be able to get away with just putting some heat shrink on that, to be fair. I've got some awesome heat shrink that shrinks down like crazy, so I think that's what I'm going to do, rather than try and just rewire it. Oh, things blocking. Don't even need very much of it either. This is 4-to-1 heat shrink. If you've never seen 4-to-1 heat shrink, it's really good. I find 3-to-1 a pain, but 4-to-1 you can have like with 3-to-1 I wouldn't be able to do this and just slide this over. It'd be too tight. Oh, the mount cap just didn't work. That's fair enough. I think I sent some C2 with my 2s when you did the shadow phone. I did shadow phone for you? I don't, your YouTube name I don't recognise, so and the mags work out the box flawlessly. Interesting. Nuance doesn't exist on social media. No, it doesn't. Most of them would be able to run it better than, do I dare say? Yeah. John Cena. Yeah, let's go with John Cena. That's exactly who I was talking about. But yeah, we don't mention that name on here. It might summon the fans. So, we don't want that at all. Well, I don't. SJ, don't judge me too harshly for what I am about to do. Or do, I don't really care. But I'm already making a loss on this, so. Now, I have like a full soldering iron setup and everything, right? But I'm assuming you're about to say NAF. No, I was going to be a NAF, but I honestly can't be asked. NAF falls on my anniversary weekend every year, and I really, 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 I do want to go to it, but as a retailer, ideally, and it's just too expensive, especially this year. Right. Love this thing. This is the Dremel portable soldering iron, and it's actually better than my normal soldering iron. Oh, you'll right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I know who you are now. What was I going to say? Brain. Yeah, that makes sense now with the mag catches. Makes sense. Alice, yes, I was going to explain who Alice is. So, Alice is the one who has designed all of these parts, like the barrel stabilizer, the end pass, the tensioners, all of those parts, and like this here as well. All of those things that are on my store are hers. She designed them. She gets the vast majority of the profit. I get only like 15%. And if you look on the store, you'll see Amethyst Artificery on the store. That's her. That's her own company. I'm effectively the marketing guy, which feels weird to say because I never thought I'd be doing that. But that's effectively what I am. Okay, so that at least has got rid of that breaking the wiring. So I'm happy with that. Let's get this back in. Get this all starting going back together. Brush. Grease. So I run out of grease here. Perfect airsoft grease. That's what I use on pretty much everything. Okay. And just a teeny tiny bit on here. I'm hoping I can get enough time here to do a gas blowback, but Alexa, what's the time? Oh, no, the internet's gone down here. Of course it has.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Let's try a little later.
No. I refuse. If you're wondering why I've got an Echo Dot down here, it's because music, pretty much entirely, and voice controls. Keep that out. Chucked. Yep, she did indeed make that. One day I hope to be knowledgeable enough in Airsoft to have a channel similar to yours in providing information for people, especially because I was pretty overwhelmed when I started. Yeah, cheers, Jared. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing Airsoft now for well over a decade, on and off, breaks here and there, and I could never afford a tech. In fact, techs were even rarer than they are now. When I first started, they just did not exist. So I had to learn. Like a lot of us at the time had to learn. Actually, you'll be familiar with that. But yeah, we all had to learn the hard way how to fix our own stuff. I've got to find the right screw among these many screws. There it is. We all had to learn the hard way how to fix our own stuff, and I can't remember what started me on the YouTube path. I think it was literally I was trying to find a video of how to disassemble a gas blowback, a gun that wasn't particularly common, and all I could find were just these horrible, unhelpful, blurry, or like terrible camera angle videos that didn't really actually show you what you needed. They just assumed that you knew X, Y, or Z. So I tried to do my videos such that I don't assume you know anything. I try to go on the basis you know nothing when you're watching the video. So 1 second. Okay, so I've not done that up super tight there because there is an O-ring underneath, which is supposed to be applying the pressure. And if I do that up any more, it's just going to squish the O-ring out. Unk status in the air. I'm not sure if I don't know if I want to be called called that. No, no. Which way do I want to do the wires here? I want to do signal wire first. Anyway, let's do out wires on the bottom. That makes the most sense to me. Oh. Maybe I could become Uncle Iroh. Ah, legend that he is. You look like a Jasmine man to me. I am actually a Jasmine man. I love Jasmine tea. Especially as it's got no caffeine. We like when there's no caffeine. Can you behave? Please. Get behind it, thank you. And you. Are you come to the tree? Get in there. Pull that out. Push that in. There we go. Right. That's in. Good. Stay. Next, let's do this gear first. I'm having to try and remember to do things on camera as well. Tom, hi, welcome. Yeah, no, I'm trying to do this more often. It's a lot easier to interact with you guys during a live stream, so I figured why not just live stream while I'm down here. The problem I was having so many videos assumed you know things. Yeah, I remember doing research and seeing things like TM compatible and other terms thrown around for first go. So, yeah, it's a very confusing world out there. And in fact, I intend to do a video, and in fact, I'll probably do it during this live stream because I know at least one of you will appreciate it. There's so many things that in the airsoft world that everyone assumes that you know. One thing that a lot of people always make the assumption of is they assume you know how to put a molly attachment onto a plate carrier, and yet I see people walk around with them the pouches dangling everywhere, right? So they obviously don't know. So I try and help them and teach them how to do it. Then you also get people like there are people out there who don't know how to put an attachment onto a gun at all, like an M-lock attachment. Why would you know that? Like, only reason I know is because I'm autistic and I couldn't tell you exactly when or how I learned it, but I did. I know with molly attachments, I did get taught by the co-founder of Saber Airsoft, who's no longer in Saber Airsoft, because I didn't know, and he very helpfully taught me. So, you know, there is a lot of assumed knowledge, and for some reason people don't help each other by going, hey, you know, let me show you how this works. There are videos out there for how to do molly weave, but not for, but there probably are some for M-lock attachments. But again, it's assumed knowledge. People just assume that you would know. Let's do sector gear. No, it's not that bad. Well, it was a bit warm then, but it's not. Cool. Right. That's greased. Let's get the shins and pray that I put them back all in the right order after my little mishap. So one thing I didn't check is just make sure that that cam is going to touch that. Yes, it will. It was touching the switch because I could hear it. That's me. Oh, Molly touched. Yeah, fair. There was a co-founder of Saber Airsoft. Yes, there was. And English is saying yes because he knows who it is. He's just as good friends with him as I am, although he probably would say he's more of a friend, only because he's weird like that. Basically, Saber Airsoft started originally as a shop, and it was supposed to be like just attachments and accessories, and it never really went anywhere initially because, well, we didn't really put much effort into it. And then I started to get into paid tech work, and I said to Will at the time, I said, how about we, how can I just run my tech work through the company? And he was like, you know what, just have the company, I'm done with it. Do I have a job outside of Sabre? Yes, I do. I'm a software engineer. That's as much detail as you're going to get. There's reasons for that, but I won't go into why. Because I can't. But yeah, I'm a software engineer by day, which is also why my entire ethos and way of doing things isn't about making money, because I don't need to. This I do for the funsies, you see. Oh, you sausage. There we go. Are you coming to the truth? Strange things that happen, and the stranger it would be. Yeah, I sing to myself, sorry. I just do. That's why I normally have music on, so that I can listen to System of a Down and things like that and just blast it. Chat. What's stopping me continuing with the attachment idea? I'm not really into the whole running a shop thing, if I'm honest. If I could, I would, but there's no money in Airsoft at all, and I've not really got any interest in running a shop. That's why Alice runs the shop instead, because she's more interested in, well, she's more capable of doing that than I am. I'm not very good at it. And if I was to design my own attachments, it's such a saturated market that could I really bring anything to the attachment world that would be worthwhile? Like, not necessarily not worthwhile in the sense of making money, but worthwhile in the sense of, from a consumer usage perspective, what would I be able to bring that would actually be good? And quite frankly, I haven't got anything groundbreaking enough to even warrant thinking about it. Simple as that, really. Let's see how this sits in here. Okay, it's good. It can go all the way forward. That's good. That's what we like to see. The goal for today is pretty much get this done, bagged and shipped for tomorrow. Got another one that I got shipped tomorrow as well that I meant to ship last week, but I didn't. ADHD, executive dysfunction, just couldn't seem to get past the wall of getting it started and actually sending it. So the customer's aware. He's very understanding. As long as he gets it before NAF, he doesn't really mind. Oh, I can't put that in yet. I need you. Horrible, horrible thing, you. I should probably also put the trigger in while I'm at it. What's going on here? Look forward to the NAF again. Yep. NAF. You don't go to NAF for you don't go to NAF for Airsoft. You go to NAF in order to be social, and it's a very expensive social weekend as a result. That needs to go there. Where is my trigger spring? That's not a trigger spring. That's the wrong trigger spring. In fact, that's a hamstring, not a trigger spring. Somewhere. Help Daddy find his trigger spring. Found it. If I could go to NAF, I would, genuinely, because it'd be nice to see Brett again. Quite like Brett from Outlaw. I think Waldo's going to be there, and it'd be nice to actually meet him. And of course, like the guys from SOCOM, they're all brilliant. So it'd be nice to see certain members of not just creative, but like the tech world and the retailer world as well. I think James is going to be there as well, Jaeger Precision. Fun story. Some people seem to have this misunderstanding that James and I don't like each other, which I'm not entirely sure where it's going. I think it comes from the fact that we disagree on the VMP too. But believe it or not, people can disagree and still be friends. I'm on his Discord, and again, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with everything he says or does, but you know, at the same time, he is, for the most part, providing a positive contribution towards the Airsoft world. I won't comment on things that I might consider are negative, but I do actually quite like James. You're gonna be misbehaving this entire time, aren't you? You are. Irritating. Let's get you. Is that going to work? No. Why are you pushing up? Let's go back to basics here, Luca. What's pushing you up? Is it just the spring? Yes. Fine. Irritating. But it looks like I might have to do this when I'm putting it back together. Whatever. Yes, you definitely do spend unnecessary amounts of money to. PC Knowles coming in and I need some. Yep, fair. Why can I chat on my phone but not my laptop? Pass. Ask YouTube. I honestly couldn't tell you. Wiring. Oh, I know what's going on there actually. It is the wiring, isn't it? Stupid wires. Why are you so stupid, wires? Why are you like this? Oh, it's because I'm overlapping them, isn't it? Fudge. Nutty fudgekins. Let's see if I can just get you under there real quick. You back in there. Yeah, that looks like it's sitting a little bit nicer. I bet this trigger's still going to be an absolute so-and-so, isn't it? Still not going to be the worst trigger I've ever dealt with. That accolade belongs to the AK trigger that I worked on for the geriatric. Which, by the way, he's threatened to give back to me to work on again. Oh, actually, it might be. So whenever I go on to... Are you using an ad blocker on your PC or laptop by any chance? Because I have experienced myself where YouTube basically tries to stop you interacting, but if you just wait a ridiculously long time, it does eventually start working. Fair enough. See? Trigger sat in there nice enough. Until I move the wire. Because it was the wire. So let's just straighten the wire out a little bit so it doesn't move them out. Does that mean then that's... Okay, that's fine. That's nice. That's very nice. And then as there you are. Put that on there. Okay, quick double check before I put the lid back on. Nozzle. Everything in there, everything where it should be. Yes, appears to be. Gently put this on here. Now this is where the fun begins, because now you got to play what I like to call the poke and prod game. So you poke and prod until things finally slip into where they should be. Usually it's the same culprits each time, like that. Then make sure your wires aren't being crushed. Triple check, everything's gone together nicely, neatly, nothing's pushing out. Then you can put the screws in. Yeah. Opera is a good shout, it could be Opera. I use Opera GX, although I use U-Block Origin. I know it seems hypocritical because my videos are monetized, but I don't care if you use an ad blocker, because I do. And I don't get enough views overall to actually make good revenue from the monetization anyway. Not that I really care about making money from the monetization. I don't do this for that. I do this to help people. The other upside to doing what I'm doing is I get to meet people like all the guys at Newprol, and like met the guys from Double Eagle, although I didn't really talk to them very much. It is a challenge with the language barrier. The guys at Gunpowder Tools, those guys are absolutely brilliant. Like, I genuinely use Gunpowder Tool bits all the time. I'm using them now. This is from the Torx kit, even Torque wrench kit. God, I can use words today. And again, they are available in the store if you did want to buy some, and I know Alice would appreciate it if you did, because she wants to clear up some room. So there is a bit of a discount on them at the minute. Yeah. I really don't like micro switches on ECUs. They do just die, seemingly for no reason half the time. Double check everything is correct in there. Yep, piston is in the correct position. On the rails, that's good. Oh, the window position here, whether it's like halfway down, wherever it may be, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be exactly right. What's going on there? It's fire and bow. Discount codes. Just buy through Alice. Yeah, just buy through Alice. Alice bought the stock, so until someone buys that stock, it's money that can't be spent trying to source more interesting things. What Alice's goal is, as far as the store stock goes, is to stock things that no one else does and that are still needed, which is kind of what we did with the VMP2, in that we knew no one could be asked to fix it, so we fixed it. So if you get ideas of like parts that you want for it to try and source, go on the Discord and let us know. Doesn't mean that we'll necessarily get a lot of them in. It might be things that come in and add like small amounts. But where we can, we will buy stuff in that people need. Because you can't get access to the wholesale accounts and, well, we can. Some people grease this, I don't. What impact is that going to have, really? This is where SJ will come in and join the chat and be like, oh, you should grease it because XYZ, here's a really, really detailed explanation, and now you look like an idiot. Or feel like an idiot. Yeah, probably. I am a bit of an idiot sometimes. Do-do-do-do-do. One, two. There we go. Make sure that's actually interacting with the selector bar. Yes, it looks good. Not that one. Not that one. Rose pin, that's what I want. Always put the rose pin in first. It was Luke, Negative Airsoft, I learned that from. Can't remember which video, just one of them. One of the many, many that he's done. Alright, my list is going well. I was going to say, GPT tools. You don't need every single one. I have every single one, but I use every single one, so it makes sense for me to have them all. Really, you could go for just like the small kit or the larger kit. I've got one just here. Like, this would probably do the vast majority of people for the majority of things that you would do yourself. I just have them all because I like them. That's what I do. I buy stuff, spend too much money, get shouted at by my accountant, who is my wife, I might add. English has met my wife. Mrs. Saber, as some people call her. Sorry for the shaking of the cam. That's every time the camera's shaking is because I'm checking the messages. I haven't yet set up something better down here. There is intent to, but I haven't. What do I want to put on next? Yeah, let's go with this next. Let's put stock on. This is the worst part for a lot of people, and I understand why. It is frustrating. And if it makes you feel better, it's frustrating for me too. Because I don't think that's screwing in. No, it isn't. Okay, that's at least contacting that now. Yes, there we go. How's that lined up? Yeah, good enough. Mr. Saber sounds less like a wife and more like a female warlord. Well, to be fair, mate, you've met her. Would you mess with her? Because I wouldn't mess with her. I know what she can do. I want 2.5, don't I? 2.5 for these two. Yes, 2.5s. There we go. This is a part that can go annoyingly wrong. So if you drop that screw through the hole in the middle, then you gotta go fish it out of the gearbox. Can't just leave it in there because that's how you break things. Are you not caught? No, you haven't. Come on, catch the thread. Have you got it now? No, why? Why are you being pain? There we go. That's got it now, I think. No? Yes, maybe. Yes. Cool. Don't want to do those up too tight. Hammer! That's popped out. Demonstration as to why you shouldn't take these things apart too often. That is an interference fit. It's got nailing on it. Take it apart too often, it stops being an interference fit and will just become very loosey-goosey. Now this is where I think this customer went wrong when they were putting it back together. Where the wires sit, they don't want to sit towards the back like you might expect. They want to sit towards the front because the motor sits towards the back and this ensures that. So you want the wires either side of this. So what you do is you reach in and you make sure that those wires are going to be clear of the hole that the motor is going through. And it's the red wire that I need to make sure. So I can just pull the black wire straight. The red wire I need to push in and make sure it's sat to the bottom and out of the way. Bottom. Then I'm going to have positive this side. And the reason why I think that they got this part wrong is because simply if the motor is too high, it starts binding, which means that it'll generate more heat. Which is what I think was happening. Oh, is it? Oh, have I got that backwards? I have, haven't I? Duh. Hold on. I've done that wrong. I got my idea backwards. It's the other way around. The wires go the other way. I should have checked that first, shouldn't I? So if I put them both down here a second, without trying to attach them, I'm just going to try and push this in. Yeah, so it wants... No, I am right, look. It wants to sit towards the back, look. So I was right. I did remember correctly. Stop gaslighting me, guys. Why are my fingies not long enough for this? Because it's like an extra long grip. That's why. that's because it's catching on the wire, maybe. There we go. Maybe? No, that's still not right there. Something's not right there. Ain't right. There it is. That's what we wanted. Now, the very fun part, trying to get the wires on there. There we go. That's that one. That's that one. Make sure that they're flat. And then clear out that so that the blade of this can go down. I'll try and push them both that way. Make sure that's not in the way there. Come on. Ah, that's going to be a dick, isn't it? Don't be like that. That needs to be up that side. Which means that really I should have... right, take them out again. I know what I need to do there. I need to have the red wire, because of the way that the wires run on top of the motor, I need to make sure the red wire is on this side. Not on the bottom. Bottom. So, twist that round into the top. Ow. Stupid finger cut. Like so. Use this to... I don't like this grip at all. Don't like it. Okay. Should do it. There we go. That's that. And that one. I'm going to put the red one on first. Push down, bring the black down here. Get on that, no. There we go, that's on there now. Push them down out of the way. Grab the blade. Get between the two wires. That should be good. There we go. Right. Moment of truth. Taking bets. Is it going to blow up? If it does, that's going to be a really bad end to a live stream. That doesn't sound good. Oh, God. Oh, it's a 4mm, isn't it? Oh. There. That's about as good as it's going to get. See if it gets warm. It's not getting warm so far. Let's try an 11.1. Shouldn't really, but just to see. Yeah, that's 11.1. Oh. Yeah, see, it overspins with an 11-1. But yeah, not an 11-1. It's only a 7-4, but it's still not getting warm. That grip is still not that warm at all. Doesn't sound great. But I'm not swapping any parts out on this, so there's only so much I can do. It's not overspinning though, so call that a win. The grip, no, it's not even. It's a little bit warmer, but that's normal. I would expect that, honestly. Yeah, there we go. Just get it back together. So if the customer's watching this, the only other thing to try is change that grip out. Put one in there that's better aligned. But I don't have any spare grips kicking about, and it's zero money to spend, so I've done what I can. Put that on, like that. There we go. Don't forget that every time. Can you get in there without me pulling it up again? There we go. There we go. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to knock the camera then, guys. So with a bit of direction, 2 hours that took me. Full strip, reshim. Yeah, that motor is a little bit warm. The heat's starting to transfer now. Why is it like that? The real alignment looked fine on the grip. But I can see, I think I know what he's what he's talking about. Just put it all back together now. Let's try backing that out. Oh, is that not? Are you kidding? Are you coming out? No, you're not, are you? It's probably because I'm not using the right bit. Durr. Back that all the way out. Double check that it's not putting undue pressure on the wire in there, and that's not messing with things. Right, that's it. So this is with a motor all the way out. Well, a motor height all the way out. Put it in a tiny bit. See, that's starting to strain that. So there, I think there's fine. Let's try that. No. Sounds good on semi. How's the battery and the wires here feeling? Are these programmable? I wonder. Can someone in the chat do me a favour? Just look up the Novrich. Actually, it's something I'm gonna have to do off camera, I think, because I need to look up the ECU in a minute. No, I think that's a good point to end anyway. I was going to do more on a gas blowback, but I'll do that on the next stream, which I think I'll do tomorrow night, maybe. You guys, yeah, I think tomorrow night. I'll come down to the workshop again tomorrow night, and I'll give you an update on this one. I was hoping to ship it tomorrow, but we'll see. I'll let you know either way. And then I've got a Murayama MP9 I need to do tomorrow. What else am I going to have to do tomorrow? Yeah, then I've got to do the golden AK strip. Cool. Right. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Come and join the Discord. You can always chat to me on there and ask anyone any questions that you might have about Airsoft there. Link should be in the description below. If it's not working, again, just let me know. And otherwise, catch you on the next one.